Hi, this is Brian Otten, Marketing Director with the Greater Wausau Chamber of Commerce. We are meeting with the second of 7 Athena finalists that we will interview today live on our Facebook channel. And right now we're at Intercity State Bank's new location out in Weston to interview Ashley. Olivia, a previous recipient of the Athena Awards, is here to conduct the interview. So Olivia, I will let you take it away.
Great, thanks. Well, thanks so much for meeting with us today. It's really a pleasure to have you here. First of all, can you introduce yourself and just tell me a little bit about you and who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Ashley Dupuis-Bohman. I am part of the mortgage team here at Intercity State Bank. I am a wife, mom of 2, and involved in a variety of organizations within the community.
Awesome, great. So I'm going to get right to it, and I'm going to ask you the first question. Can you share an example of a time that you advocated fiercely for yourself, another person, or a cause?
Yes. So I guess the cause that would come to mind is kind of over COVID. So obviously everybody was going through a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of changes that were happening. I was part of a child care board, and we had to make the decision of whether we were going to stay open or close. The decision was made to close just for everybody's safety. And after a short time, we kind of realized the impact that that had on our families and children, along with financially. So we had to find a way to open our doors so that we could have our kids interact with other children because they were struggling. Parents were trying to work. We had one facility that had a lot of single mothers who were unable to go to work because we were closed. So worked very closely with them. We fought to get the doors open so that we could make sure that everybody was safe. So make sure we were safe and following the rules, along with getting the children in to enjoy some time with other kids and parents back to work.
Ooh, that's definitely quite a time and a role, a voluntary role that you, had that took up a significant amount of time of your, I'm sure, and also a significant amount of your energy.
Yeah.
And maybe took a couple years off your life also, as it did for a lot of us. So but that's really wonderful because it really is a moment where you have to kind of, on your own personal time, give up so much, especially around everything else that's going on, to step forward and advocate for something and a cause and really take time and dig into, like you were saying, all of the outcomes of those decisions and then continue to be responsive. So thank you for doing that. We need more people like you out there in the world. So thank you. Can you share an example of how you've acted courageously?
Yeah. A time that really sticks out was a very influential time in my life. I had a mom who got very sick kind of suddenly. And during that process, she was dizzy, couldn't walk. But whenever she'd go to the doctor, they had told her that she was crazy. There was nothing wrong with you. Everything was fine. And it was one of those times when I realized that I needed to step up and be courageous because it wasn't just me, it was her as well. In the end, we found out she had cancer. During that time, I was going to school, working 2 jobs, planning my wedding. And it was kind of, there are some days you just want to give up. But realizing that I can't, because if I give up, then she's going to give up. So really understanding, I think, where my strengths come in. And it's something that I look back to sometimes when you do just want to give up. And you can't. You have to keep going because there's others that depend on you.
Well, that is really great because oftentimes others, especially with their health needs, need an advocate. They need a strong advocate by their side and also somebody to just help them get through the weeds, you know, and not everybody has that. So I think it's a really big gift that you gave.
Thank you.
Can you share an example of a time that you brought another woman into a leadership position on a project or cause, and what did you learn about that experience or within that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to say my time here at Intercity. So as a very small bank, you can be involved in a variety of different areas. And some of those are, I help with our clothing store. I help plan some of our events, but it's obviously not something that I can do alone. There's a lot of others within our organization who have other strengths. So using those strengths to give them the opportunity to volunteer or help out where they would like to. So part of feeling fulfilled in your job is having other opportunities. So for example, we had our Fun at 5 a few weeks ago through the chamber, and we have a colleague who loves to decorate. Not my forte. I do numbers, not decorating. But she used that as an opportunity to just take charge. And it was a different person than I think we've seen in the past. She was really enjoying it. She was engaged.
Mm-hmm.
She took everything on and really did all of it by herself. I mean, she was kind of able to take that leadership role and make sure everything was accomplished.
Yeah.
And just learning that it's not telling somebody what to do, it's allowing them the opportunity to use their talents. And it was great. I think the event turned out wonderful, and I think she even learned a lot going through that.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
great. You know, and especially being in an organization like this, and there's so many other opportunities, and me not being a part of this of your world, I'm also learning of all the other auxiliary things and volunteer opportunities and community service projects that organizations like Intercity does.
Yeah.
And it really does take the people within the organization and people like you to really move those initiatives forward and those events forward. So thank you for doing that, because it makes such a huge impact in our community and for the organization itself and the people within. So it's really wonderful to see. You mentioned something. Was it did I hear a clothing closet or what? There was.
We do a clothing store. So basically, it's just our inner city merchandise that we have a website. So it's picking clothes, finding different things that fit. So we have to do men and women, along with some accessories. So with that as well, we have a group of, happens to be women who joined the committee. And again, a few of them love clothing and they like different options. So it's nice to kind of work together and collaborate and see what fits our dress code, our colors, what we require, but giving them the opportunity to maybe expand a little bit and be involved in that.
Ooh, I like that there's the inside voice kind of driving the decision making on that.
Yes. Well, and then too, everybody has different feelings and they like different things and like to wear different things. So it's nice that we can kind of collaborate and all work together to find out what works best for everyone.
I love that. It makes everybody's life just a little bit better.
It does.
If they can get a little bit of their choice and, feel good in what they're doing. So that's wonderful. Can you share an example of how you have served others within our community as well?
Yeah. So I started volunteering, had to think back to this quite a bit, but it was shortly after my mom had passed. And I started with the American Cancer Society. We walked, I had organized teams. And then I started with the Run for Hospice. So she was through hospice when she had passed, and it was very fulfilling. So it was nice at that point. My daughter was born a few years after that, and we could take her with, and it was nice to show her those opportunities, but to also be involved and realize the impact that we had. So then from there, I had an opportunity at work to join the United Way, which I have been part of the United Way for, well, just like quite a few years, probably since at least 2011.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I've organized a lot of our events. So I did it at another place that I had worked, and I do that now as well. We have our United Way campaign that we are currently actively doing. I've also served on a few boards. Most recently, I am currently the first Wausau Area Builders Association president. Past president of the Everest Area Optimists. I served on the Wausau Medical College board, so kind of a review committee. They asked that members of the community join and give their input on who they think would be good doctors in our area.
Oh, wow.
So a variety.
Places. Yes, you are very involved. Thank you for giving all your time, because really our nonprofits and our community organizations really in any community, but really here in Marathon County and the Wausau area is very strong, and our nonprofits are really well served because of people like you who volunteer their time and really truly care about learning about the community and learning about the needs within that community to serve them better. So thank you for doing that and spending all of your time. I'm going to ask you one little question off the cuff here. You mentioned that, did you say you have a daughter?
Yes.
You're so involved with all the nonprofits and giving your time. And you mentioned your daughter also within that. Does she join you on any sort of volunteer things? Or I guess also if you were to impart something to her about, walk away with one thing about what it means to inspire other women and be philanthropic and be a leader, what would you tell her? What do you look to show her and I guess impart to her? Thank you.
So she does. She participates with a lot of the events that I do. She's actually very involved in a few organizations as well that they do through school. So it's been nice to see her grow, and she's learned a lot, and she's really understanding her impact. So I guess the reason that I started volunteering and what I want to instill in her is that we've had a lot of opportunities. We are not in need, but I also feel that that's a reason that we need to give back. So there are others in need, and whether it's your time, money, talents, however that is, take a little bit of time and do that. And it seems like it works. She loves working the cheese curd stand with me.
Oh,
We
love
have
it.
a son as well who loves doing that.
Yeah.
But it just teaching them that if you have the opportunity, you should give back to others who maybe aren't able to do that themselves.
Excellent. That really is like within the spirit of the Athena Award and you know, lifting other women up and giving those, I guess, talents to the next generation as well. So is there anything else that you'd like to share? That was the end of my question.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm just extremely honored and humbled and looking forward to the rest of this opportunity.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for spending some time with us. It's really good to get to know you also.
Thank you.
I'll kick it back to Brian.
Sounds good. Great interview. The Athena Awards will be held on Thursday, November 21st. The lunchtime program at the Holiday Inn and Suites out in Rothschild. You can find details about that on wausauchamber.com, and if you'd like to attend, it's open to the public, and you can register for a seat or a table on our site. This is the second of 7 interviews today and 13 overall. We'll be back with another one